Ladies and gentlemen, um, so these two sets that just got they're in testing the Paladin one and the Trickster one. Um, uh, they they're good. Like by if you use them by themselves, they're like fantastic sets where it's like okay, maybe you might be missing out on like the damaging for you would have to go over here and like get a T6 seal or something to get your damaging. But if you were just playing it by yourself, you would still have like some sort of buff slash debuff in the form of a curse. Like this thing curses, and it also does damage. So you still get like a damage increase from this set. Um, and it's also just like it's stupidly good with just covering like AoE things, where the armor, if I used it by itself, it has this ring which hits multiple things. It doesn't armor pierce, which is like good, or else this thing would be broken. But it does so much damage, and it's on the armor, which is like I'll get to that in a second. Why this is broken, um, as just like a DPS armor, but um, this so you have two things here that's like really good. Like basically this circle, like a lot of things in it gets shredded, and I did some hauls earlier, and it's like it's very good for just sort of leaving it there to just do its own thing while you focus on other things. The sword is actually the weak point here, even though it is a little bit more range than a tiered sword. It's zero point 0.5 more tiles. It just because of the two shots, it just doesn't do too well against or defense heavy enemies. And honestly, this is what D-Blade should have been. Um, so it's like more useful, but I guess it is what it is. But yeah, not too sure how it scales with damage, but should be pretty good. Though, this is just like a tanky defense sort of ring, which is pretty good. But you mainly want to be using this just for like the full set bonus, where you get an extra 15 dex. Um, the what's notable about that is none of these other things give DPS stats, so it's more of a like a tank sort of set where you can have high defense or like higher defense, and then high HP, and then like you at least get a bunch of dex, but you can outclass this with other items, which that's fine. Um, but you sort of like I found this really useful when like I would go into a room, just put that there, and then just let it do its thing. But that's like I guess what they're going for, but it's also really strong if you just have like a seal like this. You use the ability to get damaging, and then you use that, and then you can also have a curse above it. Um, but it's only in this AoE, so it's like pretty. It's like just because you get that curse, it is pretty good. Um, but it's just like this. I like these two sets are just phenomenal. Um, but it's just like it's really fun. Like if you haven't gone on testing yet and like played with this, I really encourage that you do because it's really fun. And given that these are like 5% and then 7% for the seal, or 6% for the armor, and then 4% for the ring, and like these have to drop from like harder dungeons, which I'm assuming Void and Shatters, like your Fallen One's Blade, Abyssal Insignia, Vortex Blading, Eye of the Void. Like I feel like they should just drop from those two, because of that. But the Trickster set, which give me a second to get back into my vault. Um, this is very very strong. I will say. Now, a lot of people like. Hold on, let me. Prism. Whoops. Right, let me grab this real quick. So actually, let me grab. Whoops. Prism. Let me grab this too. Okay, so right. decoys, right? This one's 9 seconds long, right? T6 is 9 seconds long. Right? It just sort of like, you know, you still TP with it, but then you have to sort of be moving in a direction for it to like keep going that direction. So oftentimes you'll see people like do a quick like TP back. Oops. Oh right, I'm on EU, aren't I? Right, yeah. Okay, let me go. And the reason why that makes sense is, or why that made sense to me and why that decoy didn't go the way is because the server has to see where you're going first before it'll tell the decoy where to go. So if you're lagging and you move forward and hit space like that, like the server can't pick up the fact that you tapped spacebar, so you have to like walk forward for just like a brief second, which is stupid, but it is what it is. But a lot of people don't like decoys because, you know, they play classes where it's like damage is like, oh, I need to like use my spell bomb on this, and then like boom, like they're on it, and it's like they just die. So a lot of people don't like these regular tiered ones without knowing this. So there's that. But oh, and just for that, like the decoy, the 6-second one here, where it says right at 180 degrees, if I move forward and do it, it'll go backwards, so I have to go backwards and it'll go forwards. So that's why Dancing Prisms has one that's like regular and one at 180 degrees. But yeah, but the reason why this set might appeal to some people is the fact that I'll have my cursor over here on the right side. If I hit space, it kind of goes out there, and this decoy, the special thing about the prism itself is that, like how what is it? The fanfare horn, like the Bard ST set from Orc Sanctuary. How if you have more sets or more parts of the set equipped, you will do more. This also has that functionality where it'll increase different attributes to the decoy if you have more things on. So this is, as far as I'm aware, the second decoy that actually functions as a decoy but also does damage. This first one being, I don't know if I have it in here. Yeah. What is it? Where'd it go? Here. Prism with our instability. Where it decoys for a very short amount of time and it just does a huge explosion. So that's the only other one. But this one here, I'll go into a hall to show this off a bit. But too much stuff. But it's like, okay, well, first off, I'll do this, right? So he goes out there and shoots at the nearest thing, right? So basically he functions as a summon. And it's still just like a lot of damage, but you'll see like a few things here. So they're all sort of sitting on that decoy. Which, by the way, if you have, I think the ring equipped, the 1/1 ring duration by 150, so it lasts for 4 seconds, but if you have the ring, it lasts for 10 seconds. So you can see how that could be a bit like busted, because T6 is 9 seconds. You don't have to put your decoy behind, so you can always just rotate and just do damage like this. And I'll talk about what that ring is in a second, but basically, it's like this decoy is like a pure damage decoy, or just damage decoy. Like it's just strong. So what that ring is, like this ring here, that's from the ring. And so if I shoot when I'm in combat, so like now, it'll shoot that out, and it'll hit multiple things and it'll ignore defense, but it paralyzes for 3 seconds. Now, hold on, did I get the flame? Oh wait, it was the first one that I walked in on. Yeah, okay. So that in itself is like pretty strong, and like you'll see like these golem runes, right? This big boy, he likes to hover around decoys, and these guys armor pierce for 120. So it's like, it's already stronger than most weapons, like just the decoy for golem runes specifically. But it does have a 120 mana cost, so you know, you have to sort of use it like wisely, I guess. But it's like really strong. Like I didn't really hit that big boy at all, like outside of like using the decoy, except for like just then, and it kind of just handled itself while I was explaining other things. So that's like pretty strong in itself. Um, you don't get any DPS stats, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you don't get any DPS stats from this, which is fine because of just like how much. Well, not like maybe if you're doing like really efficient runs or something like that, like you would want DPS stats just to make things a bit faster. But this one is a really good alternative, though. Um, like in NBC where you have like the keys, you can just sort of send out these decoys and they'll sort of do their own things and decoy the pop rocks for you. So it's like two birds in one stone, and they last for 10 seconds, so it's also like really strong. Um, and yeah, like I can see where these like shots, these rings, could come in handy like really well. Um, but it's just like, dude, like, like these, like something that like makes a good SD set is like if you can like use it as a set, and this does exactly that. Like, I'm kind of like vibing right now, and I'm not even using any of the swap outs that I have. Like usually, I bring like a T6 Prism with me just so I can, it's like, oh, here's a decoy, right? And I can have a long decoy and then focus it through that. But this one already does that with the like huge time frame, and it does damage. So it's like, all in all, it's just really good. Like, like if you don't have the the armor on, it actually doesn't go too far. But and then if you equip the armor, it'll go the same length as a regular decoy, which is like, that's like fine. If I take it off and then use it, you'll see that it goes about there. But if I put this on, try to get in about the same spot. Excuse me? Oh. Oh, right, okay. Yeah. No, so it's always... Oh, fuck. I misread it. Okay. So the range is just... It's not how far it goes, it's how far it shoots. Okay, that makes more sense. Sorry, that was just a dumb moment. But the set in on itself is very good. Just, it gives a thumb up for me. And I am so happy that I am a Trickster Knight main, because Deca just gave me a lot of love here. I mean, I would love to see love for Assassin and Rogue, because those are the weaker of the two, and Trickster's already very strong. But, ooh, actually, look at this. I can just send decoys in there, and it'll do everything for me. Like, it'll decoy them, it'll stack them, and then shoot them while they're stacked. Like, dude, it does everything. At least for this instance. But, like, holy, it's so nice. But yeah, okay. So I'm gonna Nexus from this and bring up why I mentioned the SD armor. So I've already been playing around with this a bit, as I was explaining earlier. Knight kind of has the highest DPS in a single instant, like one burst shot, like the press of a button, the highest DPS. And by that I mean you can use these three things. I mean, you don't even need to use a banner, but just like when I was like playing around with this stat, I thought that the best usage of it was to use these two parts, the armor and the seal, as their own sort of like thing. So, what's it called? You use them as your like their own sort of thing as swap outs. So right, it's like, oh, if I want to like I'm using my abilities, but I want to have that, then I can swap to it and then just use it and then swap back. So I can still have the DPS stats from like whatever I'm using, or just the stats of another armor, and then be able to like have this like insanely high burst damage of like this ring. And so what that sort of enabled Knight to do is have Buckler, which is already around 3 tablet usages if you hit all of its shots. And this, which I'm not even doing the math, but there's 12 rings, so it's like whatever this is times 12, like theoretically, like at 0 defense. So there's that. So it's like 3 tablets plus this in one instant, and the cooldown is like just a bit longer, but like think about like just how much damage that is. Like think like O3 stagger phase, you walk on top of him, press spacebar, like I'm pretty sure he gets insta push. And like for some reason, Deca instead replaced O3s with fungal caverns in 3 dimensions or third dimension, so it's like why? But it's like I can't test this like very efficiently with how much damage this does in one instant to like a single target. Um, so that's that. It's kind of very un. I don't think it's intentional to give Knight this much power, but they've been giving a lot of love to Knight, and I love to see it. But this might be a bit too much. Just raw, just single target damage. Cause like, dude, like, like, I can probably like consistently do top damage with this because of the fact that it's just instantaneous, just damage. And I'm kind of scared of what this door, like this newly like placed door, like what it'll open to, because it's strong, like it's really strong. But that's my sort of take on the two new ST sets. Um, wish I could see some love for bow classes, other daggers that isn't Trickster, because Trickster's already really strong. I don't know why Paladin needed this, but I guess I'm happy to see it. This could have been used as an assassin set now that I think about it. Except for the armor. Like, you could literally just do the full thing and make it an assassin set, and this would be fine. But now you've just given Knight highest burst DPS in one instant. So, fucking. There's that. Happy playing Realm, I guess. Fucking. Whatever.